I've come to really appreciate the note of chocolate. And it was kind of a note that I never really got into. And, I've really been appreciating it. And so today I want to go over the fragrance that kind of got me into the note, or at least it was the first fragrance that I got that had the note in it. And while I didn't really, pay attention to the chocolate at the time, I wore it again and I'm just like, man, this thing is so good. And while the name is a little misleading on this fragrance, it's still incredible. Today we're going to be talking about Tabac Rose from BDK. And no, I did not put this dent in it. I bought it like this. So I have not had the pleasure of wearing it that much. But guys, stick around because I'm going to tell you why this fragrance, albeit kind of synthetic and very strong and a little on the sweet side for me, I adore it, and I'm going to unpack it for you and let you know if it is for you. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, also known as Scent Nick. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. And if you're new here, I create fragrance content in the form of detailed reviews. If that is something that interests you, please consider hitting that like button and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. And now let's get back to this review. So BDK is kind of like under the radar-esque in the niche world. Like, people know about them, but like they're not always all the rage. But somehow they always put out these releases that are just like sleepers, and they're like really good. Like, they're definitely a house that I really look forward to getting into more and more. And as they release more of these straight fragrances, like, guys, they're crushing it. Now, this fragrance in particular, like I've already said, the name is a little misleading. You would assume that it's going to be a tobacco and rose forward fragrance, and while it is rose forward, the tobacco may be a little behind the scenes. So let's get into the fragrance. So a 100 milliliter bottle, you should be able to find at discounters for around the $155 to around $200 mark. Now, at the time of filming this, Olfactory Factory has this for an absolute steal. I don't have an affiliate code, so definitely go look it for yourself. The perfumer for this was Julian Rasquinet, which that also explains why this fragrance is amazing. Julian does some phenomenal work. And in terms of scent profile, this is going to be a sweet, fruity, rose, and spicy fragrance. And with that, we're going to talk about how it smells. Now, I could do the notes like I normally do, but this fragrance in particular, I feel like the breakdown isn't the most important, because what you smell from the beginning, it's not necessarily the top notes. We'll go ahead and go over them. The top notes are going to include lemon, plum, and pink pepper. Now, you get the plum accord. That's pretty apparent from the beginning. You get the nice juicy purple, really rich fruity qualities. It is an accord, so there's many other things at play here. But the other thing you're really smelling up at the beginning that I picked up on was the cinnamon and the chocolate, which are both found in the heart. Those are paired with the rose, which is also very prominent. So really what you're getting from the very beginning is the top and the heart, and that's pretty common. Typically in a pyramid, you got top, heart, and base notes, and top notes are really just there for the opening. They're just there for a nice psh, and then they're gone. And you can usually smell the heart right away, and sometimes you can smell the base right away. Like, just because it's in the base doesn't mean you can't smell it from the beginning. It just means it's gonna stick around longer, and it's kind of providing the foundation of the fragrance. It's kind of how it works. I'm not a pro by any means, but in my little experience with perfumery, that's what I've picked up. So, juicy fruit, invigorating spice, warm spice, all from the beginning. You get that cinnamon. It is dry. It is spicy. Like, it's bordering into fiery territory. So they're using it's whatever the cinnamon is, it's very nice. The rose is very jammy and is very strong. This is definitely a rose forward fragrance. Now, the chocolate accord, I think, is absolutely aided by the patchouli that's down in the base. They call it Indonesian patchouli. I don't know that variety of patchouli in particular, but hey, they're putting it there, so that's probably what it is. Down in the base, you're also getting tobacco and labdanum paired with that patchouli. Now, the tobacco is very minor in this blend. It is there, but like I've said, this is a chocolate, rose, and cinnamon forward fragrance with some ambery elements, hence the labdanum down in the base. You get the balsamic floral touches from that. But the tobacco is definitely a supporting note. I would say it's like medium importance. You got the rose and the chocolate and the patchouli, and then you got the tobacco right here. And then you got the other fruitier notes and then some of the spices, all the other supporting things that they don't list. That's low importance in this. The tobacco in this is earthy. It's warm. It's a little bit spicy, but it's not prevalent enough to really be distinguishable. It gets blended in with the cinnamon. It gets blended in with the patchouli, with the labdanum. All those things, they're working together just to create warmth, to create fullness and smoothness. But overall, this thing is borderline a gourmand in my opinion. It is near edible, crazy jammy rose, rich fruits, very luscious, very plump fruits, a nice dark, sweet chocolate note, nice spicy cinnamon, and then a nice woody and patchouli heavy base. Guys, this thing is incredible. It's strong. With that, let's get into the questions. Is this thing original? In my opinion, yes. I don't have anything else in the collection that smells like this, and I've not experienced anything else like this. The audience for this is perfectly unisex. This could be worn by a man, and it can absolutely be worn by a woman. I think both genders will rock it beautifully. True definition of unisex. In terms of age, I think this is honestly fine for any age. I think it's playful, I think it's mature, I think it's sexy and seductive, all of this stuff, any age, wear it. In terms of seasons, this is strong, so I'm gonna recommend wearing it for the colder months. Think fall, think winter, think early spring. But in my opinion, fall and winter, that's kind of be the time to do this. In terms of the occasions, this is date night material, this is night out material, this is make a statement, wear it to an elegant affair, those kind of things. Please don't wear this as a signature scent because it is a bit much and a little inappropriate, but hey, to each their own. Now, in terms of performance, longevity is fantastic. You're getting about 8 to 10 hours longevity on this one. It is an eau de parfum, so good concentration there. The strength, guys, it's really strong. When you first put this thing on, it will fill a room. And I'm talking like with a spray. This thing pumps so hard. The materials they're using, the synthetic molecules, whatever they're doing to make it push and have presence, it's doing that. It's strong for the first few hours, and it slowly dials back. So just know that whenever we talk about sprays, which we're gonna get into now for sprays, this is, honestly, you can get away with one spray. I'm gonna say 1 to 3 sprays on this. Past that, you're gonna be choking some people out. It's gonna get cloying. It's going to be a little overbearing and take away from the elegance of the fragrance. 1 to 3 sprays, guys. It's rare that I say to go that low, but whenever they're this strong, it's important. And I think anything past that, you're overspraying and you're ruining the vibe of the fragrance. And now with that, let's get to the rating. I'm gonna give this one an 8.2. I think this thing is exceptional. You know, I love the rose in this. I love the chocolate. I love the sweet and spicy, the blends of all of these things to create this nice, seamless, smooth, rich, and luxurious fragrance, all for a great price. And for a fragrance that is kind of on the more synthetic side, the sweeter side, that's typically not my style, I actually adore this fragrance. And I really have to give it to that cinnamon note in the top that, it's just, you get it from the beginning and it really just makes the fragrance. Guys, if you've experienced Tabac Rose from BDK, tell me your thoughts in the comments below on it. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the like button, drop me a comment, literally anything, and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.